Hey folks, this is Onis coming back again here at Handy Camp Manor. I got a project here for us. I want to bring you along, maybe get a little help from you guys. Something new. I've got a friend who's got this windmill that the wind has been blowing over on her and has got a couple pieces broken, as you can see. She'd like me to put it back together for her and make it to where the places where it comes apart and folds and all that, make it so it's a little bit more permanent. So we're gonna give it a little bit of a weld job, touch it up, maybe give it a paint job while we're at it. But as you notice, I got some new welding equipment. One of my followers dropped off this, I guess it's a forest firefighters Nomex coveralls. So I'm gonna be wearing that now when I weld, at least for anything I'm gonna do more than just a spot weld on. So come along. If you've got any questions about what I'm doing or comments about why I'm doing it the way I'm doing, please feel free to put that comment in the messages, and we'll go from there. So I'm already set up. I got everything together here, so we're going to start doing some welding on it, and we'll go from there. So follow along, folks. Should be able to see that. Well, I guess the first thing we're going to do, let's see if I can strike an arc where my grinder's at, where my ground is. If I can't strike an arc, we're going to have to find a better ground. Nope, not going to get an arc there. So, let me grab a wire brush. I know I got a couple of them floating around here. I haven't done any cleaning on this. About all I've done, honestly, was bring it home and set it here in my carport. Let's see if we can get an arc there. Nope, no arc there. Well, not quite sure what we're going to do right this second. So let me turn you off and see about getting us a ground so we can do this weld. We'll be right back, folks. Okay, I got that last piece welded. Gave me a little bit of a fit because I have to make sure everything's clean enough. Now, I got the next one cleaned up here. I got it ready to weld on. So I'll bring you along for that. It's one of these pins. They're not that easy to get lined up. So let's get it where it belongs. And let's give her a tack or two. Yes. There we go. Gave that one a decent tack. So we'll get that one welded on, and I'll take you along and we'll show you some of the other things. I'm going to go through and put a tack on each one of these, just to make sure we got a good connection. Some of it's got decent tack, some of it doesn't, but we'll go through and give it all a decent tack. Bring it back when we're ready for the next step. Okay, we're done up there at the windmill. Now the next step, every one of these joints where it meets the fold. I'm going to put a spot on each one of those to basically keep them from coming apart. So we'll start at the top, we'll work our way down this side, then we'll give it a turn, work our way down the other side. So, come along, folks. Looks like I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleaning on these. So, like I said, I'll shut down the welder. This is kind of a new material for me, so I haven't dealt with this before, so it's kind of interesting for me. This side. Let's start top, work our way down. I'm used to working with used metal. This has been an outside object for a couple of years. So unfortunately, it looks like it's pretty rusted up and corroded up, so we're going to have to deal with what we've got. I guess that's the problem of being well, I don't call myself a welder. I'm more of a grinder, but I guess that's the problem with doing welding projects for people. Let's give this a shot. Turn my heat up just a little bit. Let's give this another shot. There we go. Ain't the best, ain't the prettiest, but it should hold it. Let's continue to work our way down, folks. That's looking better. Still lined up to see. Yeah, you guys are lined up to see what we're doing. You're gonna take a seat here to work on these. Heat down. This is some thin stuff that I gotta get a spot on. I don't think I got that clean enough. Well, I guess I did. Gotta get on the clean metal to start your weld. There we go, let's keep going. Looking better. Remember, we got a couple down here we're going to hit. Yep. Get you guys down just a little bit. Okay, that looks better. That looks a lot better. So, now that's one side done. We're going to get this turned around and continue on with what we're working on. And as we get closer to the finished project, I'll bring you guys back. Thanks for following along, folks. We'll see you in a minute. Well, folks, I don't know if you heard me talk about on the other side, but we're gonna I've turned it around. We're gonna start work our way down this side. I've gone ahead and taken my die grinder and cleaned everything up a little bit. So I had some difficulties around the other side, but let's see how that goes this time, because I think I cleaned things a little bit better. So follow along, folks. We're going to start up here at the top, and we'll work our way down again. Yeah, things seem to be working a little bit better this time around. This stuff is fairly thin, so you don't want to hit it with a lot of heat. You hit it with too much heat and you burn through it. Did that once or twice earlier. Don't like doing that. So I turned my heat way down on the stuff that's thin, like this here and up here on the fins. You had to turn my heat way down on them. And the other thing I had to do is I had to change a couple settings on my camera, or on my helmet. That's the word. I couldn't see the greatest, so now we got a little bit better vision. Got things cleaned up a little bit better. These seem to be working a little bit better for us. Oh yeah, those are a lot better. Sometimes one of them things when you're working with a new material, might take a couple spots, a couple welds to get things to where it works properly. I think we got it dialed in now. Didn't quite like the way that one was looking. And when you're working with, I work with flux core. When you work with flux core or MIG, I don't know about TIG. I don't know about it, stick welding, but I know with these, you got to make sure you got a nice clean tip when you start, or you'll have trouble getting that initial arc to start. That works. This is the one I was a little worried about. Because you got to hold it up just a little bit and squeeze it together. See if I can find me a clamp here. This one's a bit big, but it should work. That doesn't look too bad now. Well, I always keep a clamp sitting on the top of my welding cart. Just for little situations like that, so you don't have to go looking for it. That looks good. I'm not completely happy with it, but it's going to hold. That's good for the women that we used to date. Find a woman that treats you right, and you can't go wrong. So I'm sorry about that comment, honey. I know I haven't done the best in life, but I got the best one now. That's probably the best weld I've done on this thing. That makes me feel happy. Like I said, I'm working my way down. I want to make sure I hit everything. I don't want to miss anything. I want this thing to last for a while. I don't know if we'll get to the paint on this today, but we'll see what we do. See what happens. I think we got it, folks. So we'll let you go for now. I'll get some of this straightened up and get it cleaned up a little bit better, and we might give it a paint job today on this part of the video. But we'll see. See how the humidity works out for us, and we'll go from there, folks. See you back in a couple minutes. Well, folks, I got it all welded up. The fan spins, it's not necessarily the greatest. Some of them were bent pretty bad when I brought it here. This is welded together and it spins. It doesn't spin real easy. But before it was ready to fall off. So we got a limited supply of paints here. So we're gonna try to do something here with the paint. Like I say, I don't have a lot of selection. So we're going to go with what we got and see what happens. We got blacks. I think we got black, white, gold, and it looks like gray. So we're going to work on basically from here up first. And if we have enough, we'll go down the legs. No particular paint. There's all kinds of paints here. It was in a box of stuff that was given to me. This is a Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover. This is a paint and a primer. This is the type of paints I prefer to work with. They tend to stick to the metal a little bit better. If I go buy a paint, this is usually what I buy when I can afford to buy paint. Most of the time I can't afford to buy paint. So the goal today with this paint is just get a little bit of protection on it. She does keep this in her front yard. So if I can make the top of it look a little bit better, maybe get a light coat of some type of protection on the bottom, I'll feel happy. Again, I don't quite know what I'm going to do paint-wise, how I'm going to do it. I just know I want to put a coat of paint on it without having to spend too much money. She doesn't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of money. So we'll do this on the cheap. Again, I want to get the top from that one piece up done first. So that's my priority. Let's see, what do I want to use next? Let's try this. Some of these paints, I don't even know if they're going to work. Again, I was given a big box of paint a while back, and I've not tested them. I organized them by color a little bit, and went from there. Now, this is the gold, and this gold seems to be doing pretty good. Doing the propeller in gold. Trying to make it a nice even coat. Getting it all. I want to do the propeller first because when I do this front part, I'm going to get a little overspray back here. And I don't really want that in the finished project. So I figure we'll paint this first. Then we're going to come back and we're going to do the body of the plane. There was some artwork on this. It's a plane with a barn in it, and I don't know what the round thing. I guess it's supposed to be a Texas type of design. I'm not an artist. I can paint, but my paint jobs don't usually turn out the greatest. Speaking of paint jobs, we still have the bicycle painted. We've got it painted. We got everything cleaned up on it. But you know what? We haven't finished putting that back together yet. I guess we'll do that in an upcoming video. We'll try to get that finished for you guys so you can see what's going on with it. I can't wait to get that one finished. Because my boys have been coming back around. And they came through the other night, just after closing for the bike shop. and my bike wasn't ready. I didn't feel like going out on my mountain bike and going to ride with them. It's more fun to go ride with them little turds with when I got my BMX bike ready. I'd have painted this red, white, and blue, which I think would have looked pretty good. I don't have any red, and I don't have any blue. So she's getting, looks like gold and black, just because that's what I got. And personally, I think that's going to look pretty good. It already looks better than it did. I got a fair amount of the gray. Let's do a touch up here real quick on the black. Again, I'm not an artist. I'm not a painter. I don't do this type of stuff for a living. For a living, I fix bicycles. And I've got a bicycle repair that got brought in over the weekend. I've got it in the shop. When the parts come in for it, I'll take you guys along for that job. Customer bought a fat tire bike last year, or the year before last, at a yard sale. And he had hip surgery last year, so he didn't get to ride much. And when he got on it a week or so ago, he found it a little bit too hard to pedal. It's single speed, so we can change the rear cog on that, the rear sprocket. We could change that. Put a little bit bigger sprocket on it. It'll make it a little bit easier for him to pedal. So I think that's what we're doing. I've got the part ordered. It's supposed to be in Friday or Saturday this week. So when we get the parts in for that, I'll take you guys along on that repair. I won't mention who the customer is. He's just a customer. This is a repeat customer for us. We've worked on some bikes for him before. Nice guy. So we'll see how that goes. I actually kind of can't wait to do that bike. I don't get a lot of bicycle repairs in anymore. But you know what? When I get them in, I like to focus my time and my energy on them. Just because I've been a bicycle mechanic over half of my life. I figured that out the other day. I've been a certified bicycle mechanic for 32 or 33 years. And I'm only 55. So over half my life, I've been a certified bicycle mechanic, which kind of scared me a little bit the other day when I was thinking about it. But it is what it is. It's something I've enjoyed. I've raced mountain bikes. I've ridden mountain bikes. I've ridden all kinds of bikes. The key was it allowed me to see some fun places. Allowed me to meet some cool people. And I was around near the beginning of the mountain bike heyday. I was not there in Marin when mountain biking was basically formatted and all that. But back when mountain biking was becoming a thing, when they were just clunkers or the old single-speed cruisers, I was riding bikes. I was riding road bikes. And I didn't jump on the bandwagon with a mountain bike right away. It took me a couple years. But my father and I, who was my road riding partner and all that, we had a trail that we used to ride called the C&O Canal. Ran from Cumberland, Maryland, all the way down to Georgetown, Maryland. 184 miles, and it was a dirt mule towpath, and it wasn't the smoothest trail in the world. So when we went and bought a couple mountain bikes, and we found they were great bikes to ride on that trail. So we started riding it more instead of riding it with our road bikes. Because a dirt trail with a road bike tire, one, it's not a bad ride, but two, you get a lot of flats. You get into some of the mud, and it's just, you don't have the control you need on your bike. So we started riding it. The first mountain bike we had was an old Schwinn. I think it was a Sidewinder was the first ones that we had, because that's what our local bike shop had. And that bike, it probably weighed 50 pounds. Which, to you guys who buy these more modern bikes, these new bikes, you understand that weight, because most of these newer bikes are kind of heavy. Now, at one point in mountain biking history, the key for like cross-country riders was to get that bike as light as you could get that bike. And I come from that era. My mountain bike that I ride when I get my bike out is a lightweight bike. I built that bike in 1999. And the parts I used on it back then, for the most part, those parts still work perfect. A couple years ago, I did have to go through and replace my shifters, because my old SRAM shifters, the 8.0s, didn't hold up very well. They've been flooded twice, and you can take them apart and clean them, but that much water on them, they didn't. Mud water to boot, it didn't hold up too well. Normal wear and tear and dust, you can clean that stuff, but flood water is a little different on some of them plastic parts. Huh. You know what? I think we're going to call that good. It looks a lot better than it did. What do I do with my lid? Again, it's just a quick paint job. Let's take you off the stand here. Bring you over here and let you see this. If we can get a decent view. The propeller we did in gold. The main body here is white. The tail is gold. The top part of this is black. And it goes down to a gray bottom. We've welded it together for her. We've given it a slight paint job. And you know what? See if I can back up here a little bit further. A lot of stuff in the background. I apologize. That's my fault, folks. I kind of like that. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to take you back over here to my tripod. We're working on trying to get some new equipment to make this type of stuff a little easier for us. Well, for me. I enjoy doing this. We're still working on getting our followership, or whatever you want to call it. Our followers, still working on trying to get that up. Not sure what we can do to get more of you out here to follow us. So we'll keep plugging along. We'll keep doing what we're doing. I say this was a fairly easy project, but it wasn't necessarily the easiest because it was old metal. It's been sitting in her yard for, I think she said, 6 years with no maintenance, no cleaning. The wind's blown it over and busted it 4 or 5 times. So again, it wasn't in the greatest shape. But it was fun. It was a challenge for me, and I got to put back together. So I guess I did something right. Gave it a paint job for her, and I think she'll be happy with it. So I thank you for coming along, folks. I thank you for the help that you've given me. If you saw something that I did that would have been easier a different way, shoot me a message. Let me know. Um, if you like it, give me that thumbs up. If you enjoy following our videos, give us a thumbs up. Again, follow us along, folks. You never know what you're going to see. We try to do a different project each week. As you can tell, I'm wearing the red, white, and blue today. Today is Memorial Day. So with today being Memorial Day, I want to thank all the veterans from every war, all of those who have served and given their life and who are still out there kicking. You guys, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have here in our country. We wouldn't be doing what we do. We just wouldn't be who we are if the veterans hadn't come before us and served to protect our rights and our freedoms. So I take my hat off to you guys. We all love you. Keep doing what you do. For all of you that are still following me, continue to do what you do. Follow along. Every Sunday is our new video. We love you, folks. We'll see you next week.